So as you saw, we went to the vets with Mrs. Gold Brahma. I was really shocked to discover that she'd got not only one but two breaks. I really didn't think she'd broken anything. I thought I'd been overreacting on Friday when she started to turn that leg. I thought you're just overreacting, but actually she'd broken a leg, and I don't know how. I can only think that she could, they're heavy birds. The cockerel weighs 5 kilos, so she's probably a 4 kilo bird. And I can only think that she came off the roost badly one evening or one morning, but she's been using the roost for, God, I think we've had them 3 years at least, so I don't understand it. But I went up and down a couple of times today to see how she was doing, and she wasn't doing much. So I put her out somewhere that was warmer because it's been cold today. I put her out somewhere that was warmer, and she just sort of shuffled into a corner. I did some noodles for our meal at lunchtime, rice noodles that were a bit stodgy and soggy, and I made too many, so I hadn't, included all of them in the pan of food and sauces and everything. So I took them out and distributed them amongst the birds, and I took some down for her where she was, and then I lifted her back in at about 7, stood her by the water, and she stayed upright, didn't go for the water. I put a bit of corn down and she went for the corn, but as I left, her leg was stretched out behind her, so I'm sure she'll shuffle herself around and get herself comfortable. I'm hoping that she'll adapt to the splint, but it must be really difficult. It doesn't look comfortable. They're all going broody. I really don't need them to go broody. I keep lifting. I lifted one of the black ones off 3 eggs today. I'm just going to have to keep doing that, and I'm going to have to. We do have a cage that we can that dismantles. It's a fold down cage. We do have a cage, and I think that we're going to have to set it up in the outer run, and put all 4 birds in there overnight so they keep cold, so they're not comfortable. It's just not a good time of year. I have to make sure of other ways to secure it. It's not a good time of year to be putting them. I might try and do it inside the run actually. If we'll clear the straw off the floor and do it inside the run. I think that's how we cooled them down last time. But they need to be somewhere where they can't get comfortable, where they can't get hot. She was hot. When I picked her up this morning to put her in the box to take her to the vets, she was really hot. She was hot at the vets. So they're just all going broody. And I need them not to be like that whilst we're away. So and I'm just going to have to work on that. We've got a couple of weeks yet. So yeah, so Ludo was here as you saw. He's finished the fence. It looks lovely. It just looks, that part of the garden is completely transformed. I think it's two things. I think he's taken away all those, there were a double layer of concrete blocks all the way around the bottom, and then just an old rusted fence on top of that. And all of the concrete blocks have gone, all of the rusty fence has gone, so it opens it all up. It looks really open, and plus the grass is looking good. It looks like we've got a lawn out there, which we haven't had for a long time. So I'm hopeful that Mark will stay on top of that, and that we don't end up with some reason or other with it becoming a jungle and too much. It's really looking lovely at the moment, and it's like we've got the garden back that we had. Well, we didn't have it when we first moved in. When we first moved in, it was all waist high. But, the garden that we made when we first moved in, before age and health problems got in the way, and lawnmowers that weren't very efficient, I suppose. So it's looking really lovely out there, and the lilacs in full flower, and I'll do a video of it tomorrow so you can see, but it does look really nice. So he's recycled our old gate for the part that we go up and down. on. And there's another gate over by the Carve, and he's put a new gate there, a smaller sort of pallet. It's not pallet, but it's that sort of material gate there, which works really well because we'd got a very, I don't know what Mark had built it. I think it was probably 2 pallets, so it was a bit wasn't as stable as that we have now. There's a pile of rubble out there because he didn't have his trailer with him, so he says he's coming back for that on the 5th, which is a Ferié day. He said he'd come after Mass. He was kidding. I knew he was kidding. What is the 5th of May? It's not Ascension Day because I had that conversation with my therapist. The 5th of May is the 5th of May. It's not. There's so many bank holidays in May. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bank holidays in May in France. And we've been caught out by that before. I need to talk to the house sitters about that. They'll be caught out by a couple of them. And it's not so bad now. When we first came, 19 years ago, the supermarkets weren't open on a Sunday morning. Well, most of the supermarkets are now open on a Sunday morning. So we would have managed that. Or no, we might not have done. We might not have done because we just were so exhausted when we were holidaying here that we didn't really get up very early. So we probably wouldn't have managed a morning opening anyway. Anyway, so he's coming on the 5th, apparently to clear up the rest of the rubble that he's made today and the rubbish that he's made today, and maybe shear Ida. So that will be interesting. See if he turns up. He doesn't always turn up when he says he's going to turn up, but he did a good job today. He works really hard. When he's here, he really gets a lot done. I'm sort of impressed. I made noodles. I've got chilies that I bought in Grand Frais months and months ago that I keep in the freezer, and I take a bit. You can freeze chilies just as they are, and I took a bit and I take a bit and put it in the meal, and every time they're too fucking hot. I'm going to throw them away because I look at them and I think I'm only going to use that little bit, and it was this much. It was like an inch of chili, and it was so hot, so hot that actually the whole rest of the meal is ruined because you're being overwhelmed by chili. I've had a bit of a spend on cooking things. When I go over to the UK, I was thinking I'm going to go and I'll see if there's a whole spice place, a shop that I can buy whole spices from in Lincoln, because we'll be in Lincoln for 4 or 5 days, and we'll get transported around by Phil, and I can get taken to these places to do some shopping. And then I thought, actually, even just traipsing around a shop's a bit heavy going for me. And I thought, I know, I'll order some online and send them to Phil. So I've sent them, I've done an ordered loads of whole spices and sent them to Phil. And then I bought myself, what's it called? I got to look it up. And I watch the Indian chefs sometimes on the cooking shows I watch. And I watch them and I think, oh, that's nice. I'd like one of those. It's the thing to put your spices in. And I'm still looking for it on here. Let's have a look. It's called a, oh, that's in French. It's called one of those in French. Can't remember what I searched for now. A masala dani or something like that. I think it's a masala daba. So I've ordered myself it's a wooden box with a lid, and it's got 12 individual little boxes to hold spices in, and it's just a nice way to have your spices out for when you want to put them in your pestle and mortar. So I've ordered some of those, and I've ordered some spices, and I ordered some jars to put the spices in when they're not in the masala daba, whatever. So I've been doing a bit of the thing like that. That's because I've been watching cooking shows. I've been watching Rick Stein, and so he's been all over the country in England, Britain, looking at different cooking, and he's seen there's been a lot of Asian cooking. He's been in London and Birmingham and Leicester and places where there's a much larger diverse population. So he's looked at lots of cookery, and I've been watching that, and it's tempted me into being a bit more, doing some more curries and it sort of, something nice, cooking, because I like cooking, as you know. So I've been doing that. So that's what I've had a bit of a spend, because I don't normally spend money on me. I'm not a great lover of things that, for me. I like buying stuff for when I'm cooking. I like cooking. He's just been mending. I've got two wooden, they're not wooden spoons, they're wooden spatulas. I think I was using one the other day and showed it you and went, I like these, I don't like these. I've got two wooden spatulas, one of them that's my preferred wooden spatula. He's mended that before. He's just mending another one where the handles come off. And because I suppose you can buy them. But I don't know whether I've seen any here when I've been in the supermarkets. It's all those silicone ones, and I really don't like silicone. I much prefer wood. I might have a look when I'm in the UK. I ordered myself some boots the other day as well. My boots are on their 5th winter, and I just have this one pair of boots, which are very comfortable and don't look like they're being on their 5th winter. But I said to Mark the other day, I'd quite like to just have another pair of boots, so I've got another choice. I think they might be coming tomorrow. I'm not sure. They weren't cheap, but I think, well, if they're lasting me 5 winters, then that's good, isn't it? Say yes, it's good. What was it, Lionel? You said something. I need to find it. You said something on my the blog I did about my stats. Made me laugh. I was thinking it didn't. This video is going to trump all your views. Nope, it didn't. And he said that. Well, thank you for your insights and lesson today. Much appreciated. I don't know what I taught you. And then he says, I say at the end about the dogs, my neighbours are worse than yours. I want to know about that. You'll have to tell me. Why are your neighbours worse than mine? Talking about dogs, it's quiet. This evening, it's been quiet for the last, 3 or 4 hours. That is so unusual. It is absolutely amazing. I can't tell you, I hadn't quite realised how oppressive it had been. And I had therapy today and was talking, amongst other things, talking about what I did last night to my therapist, and she said how harassing it must feel. And it has harassed us, and it's been oppressive, and we've been putting up with it for longer, for a year at least. And the only reason that we've put up with it is because the problem with the neighbour is that there had been in the past consequences to us beginning some sort of, I call it a game, it's not a game, but it's that battle, that whole, there have been consequences in the past, and you just don't want to go there again. I've said it, somebody said some months back, and I said, yes, I know, I know, I don't want to go there. And I haven't wanted to go there. But last night it was like, this is enough. It's enough. And I realised I felt so oppressed by it. So it's quiet. It's lovely. It's quiet. And I think he would have been really shocked. And I don't give a shit. It's like, enough. So that feels good. And I hope that's it. I'm sure it is. I'm sure it is, because there shouldn't be consequences in reality. If this is just a fluke and he hasn't actually made sense of my very loud, large letters letter in English, and this is just a coincidence that it's quiet, we will go. It has broken an impasse, and we will go to the gendarmes. So yeah, it's really lovely. I can't tell you. I can't tell you. So that's that. We have nothing on tomorrow, which is a relief. I know that sounds mad, but it was quite a busy morning. It was quite a busy morning, and again, I was pushing myself to finish cooking. On I don't know. Um, so yeah, tomorrow's I'm going to do. What am I going to do tomorrow? I've just got some chicken out. Um, to defrost, and I was thinking that I would do that bacon and cabbage that I did the other week. That'll be nice because it won't have chili in it, so that would be quite nice and comforting with some chicken. I don't know what to do with the chicken. I was watching Rick Stein doing a chicken Kiev, and I'm thinking, well, I probably could do that with rice flour. I'd have to come up with another plan for the breadcrumbs. I might do that to go with the chicken and with the cabbage and bacon. We'll see. Yeah, so that's what I'll do tomorrow. I don't think we've got anything on Wednesday either. Thank goodness. Are there any comments that I want to talk about? Any comments I want to mention? I want to thank you all for your comments. Better than George Clooney, Tina. What was better than George Clooney? Not that he does it for me. What you mean, Jazz? The picture of Jazz? I'm not sure. Quite a lot of people like Leon's work. I'm really pleased. I was sort of, he was quite happy to let me film him, and I'm really pleased you liked it. And a friend of a friend has contacted me this evening and asked me to pass on more details so she can contact him about her sofas. So that's good. Somebody said, what work is he looking for? Who said that? Sarah ND. I think he's looking for anything really. He just wants some work and earn some money. I asked him why he had stopped doing upholstery, and he said it was COVID, and after COVID, with all of the whole supply chain issues and all of the stuff like that his materials, the materials got more expensive, which meant he would have to put his prices up. And I don't know whether he found that customers were not picking up his estimates or not going along with it. I don't know. But I mean, I was quite happy to pay to get our sofa back into a state that will last it another 6 years. I mean, we're heavy and we sit on that together a lot. So it's done really well. And I'm really the story of the sofas. I don't know whether I've mentioned it. We were in Canterbury, however many years ago. We've had it a long time now, these sofas. And we were in Canterbury, and comme d'habitude, I needed the loo. So we ended up it might have been Phoenix, or I'm not sure if it was Debenhams then, or whether it was already Phoenix. But their loo was upstairs on the sofa floor. It cost me 50p to use the bloody toilet. And I came out and we started sitting on sofas and sort of, wandering around sitting on sofas. And then I sat on these. And because I'm short, every other sofa pushes the backs of my calves, because the seat's so long. My calves get pushed up on every, and that was before this fashion of bloody great sofas that you can't sit normally on, which I abhor. So we're sitting on these, and I said to Mark, these are not, these are really good. These are lovely. I like these. These are amazing. I bet they don't send them to France. Won't send them to France. And shop assistant was nearby. I bet you don't deliver to France. She said, well, actually, we can. So we went in, spent 50p and a couple of £1,000 on 2 sofas. So, but I think they're worth it. I think they're lovely. I think they look nice. They're comfortable, and it's good to have somebody come and sort them out. It was a good plan to swap the arms over as well. I thought that was really. I mean, so he mended. I probably didn't show that in the after photo. I didn't show you the mended arm, I don't think. So he mended the arm, but actually swapped it over. So the arm now on the sofa, my end of the sofa, is from the big sofa. I probably said that. Anyway, that's a bit of a long vlog. Oh my God, 20 minutes I've rambled on for. Some of you will be quite happy with that, and there'll be others thinking, oh, for fuck's sake, shut up. Okay, so, I did. Hungry Dashhound said, have a look at the glucose goddess. And I did. And she is very knowledgeable. She's a biochemist. She has a very interesting style on YouTube. She's beautiful, amazing, tall, thin, not thin. I'm not going to call her thin because thin isn't how slender. Very tall, very slender, very French, very elegant, all of those things. And knows her stuff, explains it well, and talks about taking vinegar before you, or once a day drinking some vinegar, diluted vinegar, apple cider vinegar. Can't remember what else she talked about, but she talks about some really interesting stuff that's worth trying. But there's a small part of me that is like forcing myself to stay with her because she, I don't know, you have a look, see what you think. She just pushes a button, but I don't know what button it is she pushes. But she knows her stuff, and sometimes you have to overlook the part of that person that is irritating you and carry on listening. But I did only watch, I watched about 3 videos and then I just have stopped, but I might go back and look because she's got some interesting stuff to tell you. And she's, it's the glucose goddess. Well, that's who came up when I looked on YouTube. It's the woman that came up is, oh God, I'm gonna have to look on here again now. Sorry, history. Go back a bit because I've been watching a lot of Rick Stein. I watched George done it, talking about how much YouTube pays me with 250,000 subscribers. I thought I might do a vlog like that. How much does YouTube pay me with 2,600 subscribers? There we go. What's her name? No, nearly there. Nearly there. Oh God, there's a lot of Rick Stein. Okay, so the channel is called Glucose Revolution, and she is French, and beautiful, and slender and tall. Interestingly, years ago, when she was 19, she broke her back, and got severely depressed. So, anyway, yeah, tell me what you think. Right, I'm going now. Now I don't know where I am. Am I there or am I here? I'm here. Okay. You'll get this. You could get this at 11 o'clock in the morning. My videos have been taking forever to upload. So it's now 20 to 10 on Monday evening, and I'll upload it and let's see when you'll get it by 11 in the morning. So I hope you had a good night.